When it comes to choosing a property, no doubt that many people would actually choose a lower density building if they have the choice, right?
Yeah, we can't deny that low density properties do come with a lot of benefits, and you watching now probably do agree too that low density properties are way much better than high density ones.
As we all know, with the rapid urbanization and the growing population within the cities, no doubt that high density living is increasingly dominant around the world.
Nevertheless, many people still prefer lower density properties, especially after the pandemic. Housing demand nowadays is more on low density residences, as these spacious homes provide more space for work and family.
In real estate forums, you could always see people listing the benefits of living in a low density property, and they talk about how peaceful it is.
In this video, we are going to debunk whether a low density property is really the best for your own stay or investment.
What's up everyone, welcome to VC. My name is Vincent.
And I'm Chloe. So low density housing is described as a very low number of housing units on any residential block or less number of families per acre in a housing community. Basically, not many people will get to be a resident of the housing community, also giving that balance between lifestyle of an urban city and a small town.
Firstly, let's talk about the goods of living in a low density property. The best part of living in a low density property for me is you get extra space. These properties usually are able to offer bigger units cuts to the residents, which also means that you could potentially see a 4 to 6 units per floor only.
Yes, this then leads to added privacy since you have fewer units per floor, which means that you won't have so much neighbors passing by your door so often. Some may even agree that it ensures a safer environment for the residents, unlike in high density condos where it might be harder to monitor the people coming in and out of the property.
But of course, this will solely depend on your management too. Let's say although there are 1,000 units in the development, the security guards are doing their job right by registering every single car that does not have access to the property.
Yes, most importantly, the talk of the town is apparently when you live in a low density property, there will be less noise. Since low density properties have fewer residents, noise related incidents would likely be lower.
Yeah, not to mention some low density properties are small enough that they can build it within a quiet area, exclusive area of the city, which makes it even more calm.
Yeah, with all that benefits being said, is low density property really the best? Honestly, for us, not really.
Let's stand in our own stay perspective first. No doubt that you are getting security, space and peace, right? But do you know that the low density property requires more management fees? Yeah, that's because management fee is shared upon all of the units in the building, so with the lesser units, which means lesser owners, the amount of each owner is supposed to bear with a higher cost.
Easy to understand. If 10 ringgit is divided by 10 people, one person needs to pay 1 ringgit. But if 10 ringgit is divided by 2 people, one person needs to pay 5 ringgit.
Not to mention, when the higher the management fee is, you could ask yourself, how often are you going to use the share common facilities like gym, swimming pool, maybe a sky deck? Some owners aren't willing to pay for the management too, right? Let's say there are like 50 people in 1,000 unit building not wanting to pay the management fee. For a few months, the management team will have like 950 people who are paying the management fee, which means they could still cover up with the cost to manage the building.
Yes, but if there are 50 people in 200 unit building not wanting to pay for the management fee for a few months, I couldn't be 100% sure if the money collected is enough to run the whole building, which then means they would probably need to cut down the number of security guards or cleaners even.
We do hear a lot of these kind of things from the management team, so it's not exactly always a good thing.
Now, if you stand in an investor's point of view, looking at low density properties, yes, you would probably have less competition renting out your property due to the number of units available. Yes, you would probably have less competition too when you want to sell it out.
But do you remember how property value increases? What are the 3 main factors that increase the value of the property?
Well, number 1 is location. Number 2, demand and supply for that property. Number 3 is development and infrastructure of the surrounding.
Yep, you are right. Like what you said just now, demand and supply for the property, usually with a low density property, right? Most people are purchasing it for home stay because it offers the lifestyle and peace to the owner.
Oh, so it's like if everyone is buying for their own stay, let's say 190 out of 200 units are purchasing for their own stay, which means there won't be a lot of units on sale available in that property.
Yep, not only for sale, but you won't see a lot of units for rent as well.
Yeah, so which means there won't be a lot of supply and demand in that property, because supply and demand have major effects on the housing market. Like the housing supply decreases, creating less transaction in the property market, and when there's less transaction, which means the property value will not increase or increases slowly.
Yep, this actually means creates some controversy between people who have different opinions. But it's no doubt that supply and demand is one of the main factors in the increase of property value. Less people buying the property, less transaction. Less transaction, slower capital appreciation.
Yeah, sometimes with less transactions, you can't really justify the property value even. Just a reminder once again, this is an investor's point of view. If you're looking into a low density property for your own stay, it's really good.
Yep, actually low density property are usually more expensive as well. Not only just because it offers a bigger size unit, but most of them are marketed to buyers who are looking for more space and more peace.
Yes, it's true. In addition, with urbanization, low density properties are built a little outskirts from the city center. This also means less public transport is available, which also means that the owners are relying more on their cars' own transportation.
Yep, there's actually a saying from an architect that higher density property built in the city center are to help with the air pollution. Because people live closer to their work area, they could rely on public transport available instead of having to drive every single day.
Yes, but back to the main point, I think the location of a low density property is really important. It strongly depends if that area or neighborhood is suited for a low density property. Can the people in that area afford a pricier property even?
And would it be better for the community to have a high density or a low density property there? All these could affect the development of the area such as job opportunity, infrastructures, and etc.
If you think that you might not want to live in a high density property just because you might be afraid that the property is not well maintained because there's too many people, this will really depend on your management if they are doing their right job in managing your property. Plus, everyone's definition of high or low density is not the same. If you say 1,000 units is high density, but what if it's 1,000 units on a 5 acres land? I would honestly think that's very less.
Yeah, whether to choose a lower or high dense property, what do you prioritize, right? Convenience or lifestyle? Plus, there are much more factors to consider when you're looking into purchasing a home or investment even, not only just for the density.
Yeah, so that's it from us today. Thank you for watching. So if you're currently looking into purchasing an under construction property, you can check out this video right here.
And if you're still new in the property and not sure how to choose or purchase your first investment property, you can check out this video right there. And we'll see you in the next video.
Ciao!